Denise.
Hey, and I'm Reginald.
And we're the Watkins team at TriStar Realty, serving Washington, D.C., Maryland, and
Virginia.
Today we want to come to you and talk to you about what goes on behind the scene in a real estate transaction. And as you can see, based on this board, there's a lot of activities that go on behind the scene. You know, once you meet with the real estate agent, you go out and you see the properties. There are other things that transpire right after that you don't really know because you're not acting it. You're indirectly involved in that process. So today I want to talk to you about, number one, is time is of essence. And the reason why I say this is because time is of the essence is the first thing underneath the date on a real estate contract for sale. And what that means is that all parties are on notice to perform a certain task before a certain date. So we're talking about the home inspection, the appraisal, and other things like a pre-approval that could affect your contract. If these things are met by a certain day, are not met by a certain day, that means you can be in breach of contract. You can either lose the house or you can lose your earnest money deposit.
I don't want to lose my earnest money department.
I don't ever want to use my earnest money deposit either.
Right, and we definitely don't want to affect someone else, the client, losing their earnest money deposit.
Yes.
So, well, let me pick something off this board. As is. Now, as is something we see all the time when you're looking at a contract.
Especially foreclosures.
Definitely for foreclosures. And people say, well, what is as is? As is exactly what it states, that you will get this property for exactly what it's what it's listed for, and which may be negotiable, but they will not do any repairs to the property.
That's right.
And so, doesn't mean you can't ask. A lot of times people have asked, but more times that they will get the response, no, it's going to be just as is, and we're not making any repairs, and you have to go, with what it is, and especially with foreclosures, because, like you said, they're already losing money on the property, and they definitely don't want to add any more, give you anything more to lower the value of the property.
Right, because you know what, when I see as is, I see it mostly on bank-owned properties. I see it on a lot of government entity properties. But it's anybody who owns a property and they're selling it as is, they're saying, hey, we're not going to fix anything, but at the same time, if you want to do an inspection, they will allow you to do the inspection just for your own knowledge, but they're not going to fix anything that appears on an inspection report. So that's something you have to keep in mind. That was a good one, babe. Yeah. As is. Okay, the other thing is the appraisal. An appraisal is the assessment of something or someone. In this case, it's the property. You have a licensed, certified person who comes out. That person is an appraiser who comes out and determines the value of the property for the bank. Now, it's just somebody else's assessment. And most likely, when that person sends in that appraisal report to the bank is telling the buyer, hey, this is the amount of money I'm going to loan you for this property. Now, what we've seen is that, okay, a homeowner might say, I'm listing my house at $500,000, but the appraisal comes in at $450,000. What do you do with that? Well, I'm not going to go into detail, but those are the things that do happen. Or you can say, the homeowner might say, I list my property at $500,000, the appraisal comes in at $550,000. Is the buyer willing to pay $550,000 if the buyer is approved for $550,000?
More than likely not.
Yeah,
unless they really want that property.
But those are the things that go on behind the scene that you don't see. Sometimes I'm not even present doing a home appraisal.
Right.
Most of the time I am, because I want to know what the appraisal is basing his comps on. But at the same time, I might not be able to make it, and I can't influence the appraisal decision one way or the other. Right.
And you really wouldn't want to, because this person is somebody that's independent of your client and buyer and the lister for that month, the listing agent.
Yes.
So, what else do we have here? Home inspections.
You
talked about home inspections a little earlier.
It's a big contingency.
So let's go back into it. We would always advise a client to always get a home inspection.
Yes.
But there are things, and you want to make sure that you put in place, and you want that home inspection within a 7 to 10 day period of you before the ratified contract. And so basically what you want to do is make sure that the house is feasible to be able to move into, or at least does not prohibit anything with your loan. You want to
Right.
make sure that, okay, if I'm gonna get this home inspection, there's nothing wrong with this home, that the loan or the bank is gonna say, nah, that's, you know, you have to have these criteria for this loan to.
Right. So let's
to
go
work.
back to 7 to 10 days. I know
Mhm.
you said something to 7 to 10 days.
Mhm.
Now, that 7 to 10 day period, that's a contingency, right?
It's a
That they
contingency.
have to have that
That-
appraisal done within
within
that
that-
period.
Right.
But what about if they are not satisfied with their inspection report?
Well, they definitely want to reach out to their agent so that their agent can correspond with the other listing agent
Yes.
to say, hey, this is not going to work.
Right.
Is there any possibility that you can fix this?
Mhm.
And hopefully it's not an as-is property
Right.
so that you won't get it fixed at all, because you do like that property, but it wasn't a heating unit there.
Right.
And sometimes it's small things like that
Yes.
that could
Yes.
just make it a avoidable contract.
But if it's cosmetic,
Oh yeah, we can
you
always
know, that
pay.
is definitely not
Right,
a deal
we can
breaker.
change the
A
shrubbery.
a deal
Mhm.
breaker is typically something like, you know, the unit, depending on if you're an investor buyer or
Right.
a first time home buyer, if you
Mhm.
got something that's major, that's a deal breaker. You do the inspection, you discover that there's a big hole in the roof that's leaking and you
Mhm.
didn't see it when you did your walkthrough.
Right.
You know, so
But-
those.
Yeah. But one
yeah.
thing too is certain loan requirements do require certain properties to have basic
Yes.
utilities and basic things that they have to have functioning.
That's right.
So we know.
Okay, so, you know, we can't cover all of this, but as you can see, there's a lot of things
It's a
that go
bundle
on
of them.
behind the scene
Right.
of a real estate transaction.
And-
We just give you a highlight on some. Of course, down the road, there'll be other
Mhm.
videos and we will talk about those other things, but right now, these are just some things you need to know that goes on behind the scene, because the transaction just does not stop once you put an offer on the property.
Right. There's so many things that we're getting calls for all the time. What about this? What about that? And
Yeah.
we're constantly responding by emails or text messages
Yes.
or phone calls, because we constantly want to reassure our clients that we're doing the best for them and making sure that their interests are being taken care of.
That's right. So, with that said, if you like what you saw, what you're seeing right now, and you think somebody could benefit from it, please share this link, pass this on to your friends, your family, or whoever might be interested in buying or selling a house.
Emails, text messages,
That's
anything.
right, and of course, like us and subscribe to our channel. And of course, we forgot to mention one thing that goes on behind the scene about what the real estate agents do, but we're gonna leave that
Yeah, that's
alone.
another one. That's a
Because
new one.
we're like the asset in
Right.
this
Mhm.
business, because we are the ones who got to make sure that we contacting the loan officer, that we're contacting the appraiser, we're
Mhm.
contacting our home inspector. So much, but
Once
we're not going
again,
to go into
another
that.
video.
But with that said, where there's a Watkins, there's a way, and we will see you next week.
All righty, y'all have a